My dream as a child, I always wanted to join the military. I had goals of being like, after seeing Top Gun, being like an Air Force, kind of like pilot, all the way to like watching Rambo and really, just loving that kind of stuff. The gear, the weapons, something I'm still into these days. Always wanted to do it. My dad actually really convinced me to go to college. So I ended up going to college, graduating with a degree, and his idea was at the end of college, you could always join the military as well. During my college days, September 11th happened, and I turned into a 21, 22-year-old kid, having a good time in college, and the military was the last thing on my mind at that point. Now, 25 years later, here we are, and I am all pro law enforcement and military. The majority of my gym is law enforcement and military, active, retired, reserves. I'm training with them, training them in self-defense and jiu-jitsu, as well as firearms, weapons, and anything we can try to help each other with. So in 2018, I opened Freedom Jiu Jitsu. I was coaching one of the head coaches at another gym, and I had a big following. People were like, you should open your own gym, you should open your own gym. I was hesitant at first, a little nervous, but it was kind of one of my goals in my life, especially when I was younger. So I actually was presented an opportunity and I jumped all over it. Very nerve-wracking in the beginning. I was counting my students, how many students I actually physically needed to pay my rent. As of day one, I was able to cover my rent. So I was very, very blessed in that aspect. And from here on, it's just been growing. It's doing great. Here we are 6.5 years later. We moved, we're working on expanding. Again, most of the gym is law enforcement, military, guys with good backgrounds and good patriots, and guys who just want to help each other and grow. The Second Amendment means to me basically that we as Americans in a free country are allowed to own firearms. That being said, there's a lot of controversy with the Second Amendment. I'm from the state of New York, so everything is hard to buy. Everything is well regulated as far as the amount of, not the amount of firearms, but the type of firearms, the accessories, magazine capacity is all limited in New York. So I would say New York is one of the worst states to live in if you are into the Second Amendment. That being said, a lot of controversy comes from guys or people saying that they think that people can just go in and buy a gun, anybody. There's not a state in the country that you can do that. You have to pass a federal background to buy a firearm. In the state of New York, there's a ton of crime. The criminals aren't following laws. So let's say, for example, I am getting robbed and I have this gun to protect myself, my life, my family's life, maybe some of my employees' life, friends' life, innocent people's life. And here's this criminal with this machine gun, but I am a legal gun owner and I'm not allowed to have a similar gun. So that's pretty unfair to me. The criminals do not follow the laws. When they put all these gun laws down, all they're doing is affecting the innocent and law-abiding citizens. Any kind of weapon, and I'll include martial arts in as a weapon, you have to practice, you have to train. You can't just own a gun and say, I'm fine. I have so many people come out on the range. They have all these fancy guns, high-end guns. They pick up their gun, they go to shoot the target, and they go, I think my sight's off. Can you look at it? I look at it, I fire one shot, and it's direct bullseye. That being said, they're just not training. You have to get out and train with your firearm, knife, flashlight, whatever weapon you're carrying, or just martial arts. If you're just concentrating on martial arts, and that's fine, make sure you get out and train.